All right, good morning, meteorologist Sam Gabrielli checking in here. It's going to be a pretty busy day today. We're actually going to be tracking rounds of showers and storms, and we're going to be tracking flooding with these showers and storms. We're going to be tracking some chances for some tornadoes later today. We're going to be tracking some hail up to about quarter to ping pong size. And with these storms as well, we're also going to be looking at a chance for wind gusts to be around 60 to 70 miles an hour. It's just typical this time of the year in the spring months, of course, in Kentucky, and we're used to it. Let's kind of talk more in detail about what we can expect for the rest of the day today and kind of taking a look at the yesterday in review. Now, we did have some severe storms that rumbled through yesterday, and of course there were some severe storms with it, and unfortunately, well, it looks like there's already a preliminary report of a tornado. This one actually happening in the Perry Crossing area. The preliminary report also showing that there's 85-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this tornado, sustained wind speed at least, so that's an EF0 rated storm. Of course, we're going to be getting more information on this and keeping you posted on that as well once we do get more information in the coming days when that tornado report is a little more confirmed. But for now, it does remain an EF0 tornado with 85-mile-an-hour wind. And don't get your guard down. We have a chance for more of that later on today. Here's actually a current look at our radar. So right now we are quiet. It might be a brief shower down to the south right now, but there's some pretty nasty storms right along the Tennessee state line. These storms are staying severe, no tornado with them, and much of this is staying actually well south of the Columbia, Campbellsville, Bowling Green area down by Cookeville, Tennessee. But here locally, luckily, we have been pretty quiet. You can see the radar over the past 6 hours, though. A lot of us did see these showers and storms rumble through from earlier on this morning. They weren't severe. There was a brief severe thunderstorm warning down near Campbellsville. That was for a storm producing about 50-mile-an-hour wind and hail up to about $half size with that storm. But in the meantime, we're just downright staying quiet for now, which is good news. So kind of the break in the quietness, of course, right now, a lot of our friends in Perry Crossing can, obviously use this time to prepare themselves for later on today and kind of clean up as much damage as they can to prepare themselves for what could be underway for their area later on this afternoon and evening. But again, just seeing a few clouds rolling through from the south, not a big deal. The big story as well, we're also tracking that flooding rain potential. We're going to be talking about some very heavy rainfall with these thunderstorms. A flood watch is in effect. This goes all the way until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. A quick heads up that we're going to be noticing a quick 2 to 4 inches of rain for a lot of us over the course of this afternoon and heading into the evening hours. And these showers and storms later on today are going to be training over the same spots. So this includes counties, such as Jefferson County here in Louisville, Brandenburg, Hardinsburg, E-Town. That is where we have the flood warning flood watch, in effect. This means that more storms, in addition to what we just dealt with rainfall, is going to be making for a lot of ponding of water on the roads, and it looks like ditches and creeks are going to be overflowing out of their banks. Again, a couple of other areas to be concerned about for that flood potential today is from Frankfort to Shelbyville, Columbia, Hodgenville, Litchfield included. So it's going to be one of those very active days today, and not only are we talking about the potential for a tornado or strong wind, but we're also talking about the potential for some very heavy rainfall with these showers and storms later on today. Current look as well at futurecast. So notice around 11 o'clock, most of us likely staying quiet, which is just what we like to see. But things will be changing a little more as we get you into later on today. Notice as we get closer to about 2 o'clock this afternoon, that's where the attention down to our south and west will be. Anywhere from Tell City to Hardinsburg and Litchfield, and points even south and west of there, that is where there could be the potential for a couple of these storms to really rigorously develop later on as we get into the early afternoon again. So this is something we're going to be watching very closely for you and keeping you updated. So this is why, if you are going to be off to the south and west later today, keep an eye to the sky, because things will be changing very quickly and rapidly for counties off to our west, Jasper to Tell City, Hardinsburg, and Litchfield. Notice as these storms do drift their way to the east with time, they're going to become a little more scattered to widespread. Notice in Louisville, the timing is looking to be closer to about 3 or 4 into the afternoon. So again, in Louisville, we are expecting to see a couple of chances for showers and some rumbles of thunder as we approach that 4:30 time frame. As we also take you into later on this afternoon and evening as well. These storms are likely going to be in a big cluster, and they're still going to be producing some very heavy rainfall with them. And also, we cannot rule out the possibility of a brief tornado with some of these storms as they do kind of form into those clusters. Around 7 p.m., of course, these showers and storms will be continuing to persist, mainly down to the south. So anywhere from E-Town to Bardstown, Hardsburg included. And these storms likely still affecting us until the sunset hour. But notice this wind kind of out of the north by Bedford. That's kind of denoting the behind the front, the cold front. So that's when we're likely going to be seeing more drier air move in behind the front and likely a little more stable air, which is good news. And finally, around midnight, we're expecting to see a lot of these storms kind of clear out and get out of our area. Notice a few more showers persisting down to the far south by Taylor and Adair counties. But by 7 a.m., most of us will be quieting down, which is some good news. And temperatures overall tomorrow will be comfortable in the upper 70s, if not looking to be clipping the low 60s in a couple of spots. Rainfall amounts. This is why we are stressing not only with the risk for strong wind and hail, we're going to be looking at some very heavy rainfall with these storms. In fact, futurecast is showing upwards of about 1 to 2 inches of rain, if not more, could be happening in a couple of areas, especially down to the south. So if you do live along and south of the parkways, this is where we're going to be expecting to see conditions get really pretty darn wet tonight and make for that risk for flash flooding potential across much of our area. There's our severe weather risk. So maybe you're going to be hitting the road and heading to Nashville today or Memphis or St. Louis. Unfortunately, that's where they're projecting to be also picking up some strong to severe storms near Paducah. And mainly the big risk is staying to our south and west. But they did just update the Storm Prediction Center look. And right now they are looking at a level 2 and 3 out of a scale of 5 when it comes to the severe weather risk. So that's the good news out of this. We're actually looking to be seeing a little bit of a lessening trend when it comes to the overall risk of severe weather today. The Storm Prediction Center went ahead and readjusted this risk. I'm actually going to update this graphic for you live right now on our digital so you get the idea. Level 2 and 3 risk instead of just a 3, which is good news for maybe more of your northern counties up by southern Indiana from Jasper to English and points north, Frankfort along and north of you, lesser of a risk for severe weather, which is some good news. So this is what we're overall looking at today. The severe weather risk, the time to be really weather aware and prepare and have the WHAS 11 news app to your mobile phone is from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to be tracking damaging wind with these storms, large hail, flooding, and tornadoes. And of course, that flood watch is in effect until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that generally means that there's going to be a lot of ponding of water on the roads. It's going to be one of those deals where you want to make sure you do not drive in a flooded roadway. You never drive through a flooded roadway. It's going to be pretty darn important you never do that because you never know just how deep the water is when your car hits the water. So when your car hits a road, of course, when they're dealing with extreme flooding. There's a 7-day forecast a little bit closer. I'll dive more again into the severe weather risk one more time for you before I let you go. But that's how we're overall looking, of course. There's the plan the next 7 days. We're going to see drying trend kind of head into our forecast Thursday into Friday. There might be a brief shower tomorrow morning. It really, all in all, should not be too big of a deal, which is good news. But as we take a look at next week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there's going to be fair chances for a hit or miss shower. Overall, the main risk for showers and storms is highest today, especially into the afternoon and evening. So again, one more time to just kind of reiterate before we do quiet down a little bit more in the days to come. We're still looking at the potential later on today for strong to severe storms that will be making for very hectic conditions. 1 or 2 tornadoes will be possible with these thunderstorms, and we're going to be looking at some very heavy rainfall with these storms as well. These storms are going to be training over the same spots over and over and over again today. And it's going to be continuing to make for the risk for some large hail, some damaging wind, and the chance, of course, for some tornadoes here and there. The timing of them, again, notice if you're going to be heading out for lunch, we're looking pretty quiet in most areas. But right around 2 o'clock, this is when you do need to be weather aware and keep an eye to the sky. Because around 3 to 4 p.m., just in time for that afternoon and evening rush hour commute, anywhere from E-Town to Hardsburg, Paoli, Bedford, Shepherdsville, this is where conditions are going to get very interesting to say the least, and strong to severe storms are generally in the forecast. The nice thing is, though, that I like to see, these storms are looking to be bunching together, which is good news. That means there will be less of a tornado risk and more of just a downright heavy rain risk. But of course, heavy rain, keep in mind, flooding rain is one of the main killers when it comes to severe weather. So it's very important you do stay inside, ride this out when these storms do clear your area. And then finally, by about 10 o'clock this evening, it's going to turn into more of a light rain event. So something to be aware of for sure. So again, just to reiterate, we're going to be watching everything around the clock here with you with WHAS 11. Please make sure today you do stay inside, ride this out, make sure you never drive through a flooded roadway. Download the WHAS 11 news app. We can always send you alerts to your phone directly through current location base and keep you posted on these severe storms. But today, again, we're mainly going to be concerned about some tornadoes. Heavy rainfall amounting to 2 to 4 inches in some areas, especially south of the parkways. We're also going to be looking at the potential for some wind gusts between 60 to 70 miles an hour and the chance for a couple of hailstones between quarter to about ping pong size, if not bigger. So please make sure today you're just using any kind of precautions. Make sure you have your severe weather kit at home. You have plenty of non-perishable food items at home just in case you lose power. And make sure you do have a lot of your devices charged up. Phones, you have flashlights at home as well, just in case you decide or your facility loses power, your home. And also make sure too that you just kind of ride this out and wait. It's going to be a pretty quick event. It's going to be ending by about 10 p.m. this evening. You can always stick with us here at the First Alert Storm Team. We'll be providing further updates when it comes to our forecast today. For now, we're going to leave you with this, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day, and please stay safe.